like everybody else.
DJ Commando's family announced his passing on Thursday night. Close friend and colleague WGCI's very own Tone Capone says he was a prominent Chicago music figure and well-respected.
Commando just is a light for the city. It's not just my loss. It's a loss for the city. It's so many people that he's touched. He just, he's one of those people, and I'm sure we all know some, that's just a friend to everybody, right?
Chicago's very own Leon Rogers says Commando shaped the city's nightlife and music community.
In the DJ world, he was an accomplished DJ. When you said his name rang bells. When you talked about Chicago DJs, you put his name in the list.
Power 92 followed the family's announcement with a heartfelt statement of their own, saying Commando was someone with a quiet personality but a big presence.
Mark the birthday boy!
The details of his death are still unclear.
Man, we don't know how many summers we got left. And this is a prime example of give people their love while they're here, because you never know when your number is called. So, let's love each other, man, because, you never know when it's time to go.
We miss you and we love you, bro, and appreciate all the moments that we've had with you.
And the family has set up a GoFundMe to celebrate DJ Commando's life and legacy in the coming days and weeks. We have all those details on fox32chicago.com. For now, reporting live in the Loop, Leslie Moreno, Fox 32 Chicago.
Leslie, Chicago is also remembering tonight another voice who shaped our everyday life in a different way. Frank Gehry, the architect behind the Pritzker Pavilion and the BP Bridge, has died. He passed at his home in Santa Monica after a short respiratory illness. His designs turned Millennium Park into a place for concerts, walks, and we can hang out. And his work reached far beyond Chicago. From the Disney Concert Hall in LA to major projects in New York and Berlin. He won every major architecture award and taught at top universities. Gehry was 96 years old. Let's take a live look outside the Chicago skyline, standing tall. Oh, no live look, but we got Mark Stroh for you. Temperatures not standing so tall tonight, Mark Stroh. You got the weather blueprint for us, and I hear snow's part of it.
Yeah, tonight there's been a little bit of activity. I'll show you that on Power Doppler weather radar coming up in a moment, but best chance for snow happens actually tomorrow night. Temperatures are kind of flatlined. We hit the 20s today. We're in the mid and upper 20s, and that's where we are right now. Looking off to the south and to the south shore of the lake, visibility looking pretty good. If you were to spin that camera around, visibility not quite as good looking up to the north suburbs, and that's because some blue is splashing on our radar screen here. Now, most of this having a hard time reaching the ground here in Illinois. We're having only some minor surface reports, just a couple flakes floating around. There's even a chance that we could have had some mixed precip early on, but for the most part, this is just a little pop of energy that's sliding across the area here this evening. We'll be out of here in the next hour and a half to 2 hours or so. Temperatures again, mid-20s, some upper 20s, but temperatures not fluctuating all that much this evening. We stay there again tomorrow, and we've got that snow coming in tomorrow night. I'll tell you about that in a minute.
A fire near O'Hare caused serious damage tonight and brought out more than 100 first responders. This was at the Honeybee apartment complex on the 8600 block of Foster Avenue. Nearby elementary school had to be evacuated. Here's a closer look. The top floor was fully engulfed and other units took on smoke and water damage. One firefighter slipped on ice and was hurt. We're still waiting to hear about any other injuries. In another part of the city, crews responded to this, a train derailment in South Deering. A freight train jumped the tracks near 99th and Marquette. 5 tanker cars came off the rails. Firefighters checked each one. Dispatch calls say some cars carried asphalt, which hardens fast, does not spread like a gas leak. Our crews are still checking for injuries, and rail officials plan to lift the cars and clear the line before tonight. And south of the city, Harvey is dealing with another round of layoffs. The first round in October sidelined nearly 70 people, including many firefighters. This new round cuts 8 more, 4 firefighters and 4 employees from Public Works and Police. Casey Cronus is here with where things stand.
Unfortunately, this isn't the end. Another wave of layoffs, which would be the 3rd round, is on the horizon. That's according to the mayor's spokesperson. All of this as families are preparing for the holidays.
With each round of cuts, Harvey's streets are left with fewer first responders.
With that significantly reduced manpower. Obviously, it's much more dangerous for the firemen to do their jobs, and that'll make it much more dangerous for the citizens.
Harvey firefighters have been vocal about the layoffs, originally dubbed furloughs by the city since the start. Harvey Fire Union Secretary Keith Freeman says now at least 20 firefighters have been sidelined. That's more than half of the department.
We're lucky if we get 4, and there are days where we have 3, 2, or even 1 fireman on duty. I think the most important thing is to understand that, it has been said that we have supplemental manpower coming in as part of our MABUS agreement, and that is true, and that has always been true. But it's very important to remember that those men from those other departments are coming in to supplement our manpower, not to be our manpower.
The cuts are leading to growing concerns that the now understaffed crew of just 15 people is overwhelmed as we approach the holidays. According to the American Red Cross, fires generally increase in the fall and winter, with December and January being peak months.
We continue to try to negotiate and work with the city in good faith. We really want to solve this problem. Every fireman is there to serve the citizens, and we want to do that as best we can.
Community members have rallied around the department, raising nearly $80,000 for its laid-off members. That includes Daniel Raygoza, who we first introduced to you in October, after he was cut just one day before welcoming his first child.
It's so stressful to know, I'm currently out of a job and I don't have this income every 2 weeks coming in. It's honestly a blessing because I get to be with my family and my little daughter every day. So that's the good part about it. I've been hanging in there. I've been applying for different positions and different jobs.
We've asked Harvey's fire chief and its police chief if they'd be willing to sit down for an interview with us about the situation, but haven't yet heard back. In the studio, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
The CDC just made a big change for parents of newborns. A panel voted to end the long-standing recommendation that babies get a hepatitis B vaccine in the first 24 hours of life. For years, that first dose has been routine. The new guidance says parents can decide for themselves if the mother tests negative for Hep B. Doctors say babies who catch the virus have a much higher risk of liver disease later on. On Chicago Live, a doctor from Rush said this change could put lives at risk.
It's simply put out there and not based on any evidence, and it's I think tragically harmed the legitimacy, I think, of recommendations that come out of this committee.
If families skip the dose at birth, the vaccine series would start when the baby turns 2 months old. Now to Florida, where a federal judge has ordered the release of grand jury transcripts from the 2006 sex trafficking investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. The order follows a new law that requires federal officials to make the Epstein files public. The Justice Department is also asking to unseal documents in 2 related cases in New York. Epstein died by suicide in 2019. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence. And in Washington, D.C., a man accused of planting pipe bombs the night before the January 6 riots will remain in federal custody. Brian Cole Jr. made his first court appearance today. Investigators say he confessed to placing 2 devices outside the RNC and DNC headquarters in 2021. The bombs never exploded. He was arrested this week. He's due back in court on the 15th. Up next, Michael Jordan testifies in his NASCAR lawsuit trial. Plus, a new program is moving mental health support into places you'd never expect, and it's already making a difference. A mental health program is moving deeper into Cook County and right into the places people actually gather. It's called Shop Talk, barber shops, beauty salons, community rooms. The goal is to make real conversations about stress and struggle feel normal, not clinical. The county is now expanding it into more suburban spots. Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson says the timing matters because the numbers show teens are hurting.
Young black males now face one of the highest suicide rates among racial groups of their peers. These are our sons, our students, and our future. We cannot afford silence. Barbershops and beauty shops have always been more than business. They are community anchors. Yes. They are places of trust, conversation, and healing by bringing mental health resources directly to those familiar spaces. We break stigma, increase access, and meet people where they already feel safe.
Leaders say Shop Talk works because barbers and stylists are often the first to notice when something feels off, and they're trained to step in, guide, and connect people to help. And from supporting people to building a new place for them to gather, Chicago just showed off early plans for its next big soccer stage. The new Chicago Fire FC Stadium will sit in the 78, the city's future neighborhood along the riverfront. It's a $650 million build, retail, restaurants, bars, green space, plus room for 22,000 fans. The Fire's head coach says a stadium like this can raise the level of the sport here.
To really attract a robust fan base and get everyone enjoying the sport, it needs to be about raising the level. And you see, facilities like this, stadiums like we're building, definitely raises the level.
The team is shooting for a 2028 opening. Michael Jordan was back in federal court in North Carolina today for day 5 of the antitrust trial involving NASCAR. He owns 2311 Racing with Bubba Wallace. Jordan told the court while NASCAR's charter system has benefits, he thinks teams should have more of a true partnership with the organization.
The problem that NASCAR has in this case is that not only did they lean slightly into the anti-competitive space, but they just jumped right into the deep end of the pool, in my view. And they went into aspects of absolute iron-fisted control that I predict is really going to give them a problem in this case.
A judge has already ruled NASCAR is a monopoly in stock car racing. The jury now decides whether it's using that power illegally. And in another major fight over power and control, the entertainment industry could be looking at a huge shakeup. Netflix is buying parts of Warner Brothers Discovery in a deal worth more than $80 billion. Ashley DeVorkin has what that could mean for what we watch.
I think it's the perfect marriage of content with distribution.
A Hollywood bidding war finally fades to black, and Warner Brothers Discovery's film and TV studios and streaming platform HBO Max goes to Netflix.
This is a game changer. It really is. Because if you think about it, they're going vertical now. The production, the existing library, the ability to produce more into global distribution. Who is going to catch up with them? Nobody.
The media giant beating out Paramount and Comcast. The deal is valued at over $82 billion and will give Netflix access to Warner Brothers' trove of content, including the Harry Potter franchise, Game of Thrones, DC Comics, and more. It does not include Warner-owned cable channels like CNN and TNT. Netflix said the deal will allow it to significantly expand its production in the U.S., which will create jobs and strengthen the entertainment industry. Netflix also said it expects to maintain Warner Brothers' current operations, which includes releasing movies in theaters. The plot very much thickens when it comes to the long-term theatrical release plan of this merger, as it remains a big question for many in the industry.
From nothing when they started to a bone-crushing combination of the best content and global distribution. Everybody in media wants to be on Netflix.
The deal could still face regulatory challenges, as some lawmakers argue the merger would give Netflix too much control over content and distribution. In Hollywood, Ashley DeVorkin, Fox 32 Chicago.
And away from all that corporate back and forth, an 88-year-old veteran in Michigan just got a break he never expected. Edmund Bomba's widow and a full-time Maya worker couldn't afford to retire. His story went viral, sparking a GoFundMe that took off around the world. Well, today he got a giant check to help him finally step back.
First thing I have to do, obviously, after getting everything lined up and settled, is go see my brother for 2 or 3 weeks. I plan on doing several other things, including starting to play golf again.
Mr. Edmond lost his pension when General Motors went bankrupt in 2012. One of his regular customers connected with TikTok creators who helped launch that campaign.
Yeah, General Motors and bankruptcy still doesn't seem to go in the same sentence, does it?
Does
Right?
not make sense, no.
Yeah.
No, but good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can finally relax and take a break.
Yeah.
We can't relax. We can't get a break. We're cold tonight, y'all. The weekend snow, that's above my pay grade. I'll let Mark tackle this one.
You know, the cold has settled in,
Yeah.
so anytime we have these little disturbances coming through, it's going to be able to squeeze out a little bit of snow. Had a little bit of that this evening, but we're going to have more of it coming up tomorrow evening. And over the course of the next week, I think we've got a couple more shots of some light snowfall coming in. Live picture looking over the south. City looking pretty good here this evening. This is that weak disturbance that I was telling you about. Not a whole lot happening here. Looks more impressive than it's actually generating in terms of any snowfall, but we are generating a little bit, and especially the further north you go, the more likely you are to see some snowfall here this evening. But just a little bit of snow dancing right across the Wisconsin-Illinois state line, mostly through McHenry and now into Lake County. Again, not a big deal out of this evening. And you can see most areas, you know, unaffected. Traffic still doing pretty good here this evening. Temperatures 26 at O'Hare, 26 degrees at Midway, 25 at the Lakeshore. A little warmer up the lake, 27 at Waukegan. These are the numbers we're going to have overnight for the most part. Those are the numbers we're going to have for daytime high temperatures tomorrow, and the numbers we're going to have for tomorrow night's low. Now, in concert with those, we've got wind chills that are ranking right in the mid-20s, many locations. And those wind chills are going to hang in the teens overnight tonight and into the 20s tomorrow. Wind not really big, a big deal tomorrow. Cold air targeting us right here. And as we take you through the overnight hours, mostly cloudy skies, temperatures not really bumping one way or another. There's the snow, mostly to our north, mostly moving off to the east. And then we're quiet throughout the day tomorrow before, especially as we approach midnight, we start to see some more snow generated. So this is the system tonight going through, not a whole lot of activity there. This is actually 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, maybe a little bit of snow around Berrien County, Michigan. But here in Chicago, we're mostly cloudy, but we're dry. But here comes the next clipper, dragging some snowfall in. Again, most of tomorrow is dry. It's not until after midnight we start to see some snow downtown and in the city. Kind of an overnight event, not a ton of snow. Again, an inch or two, maybe up to 3 inches out through the Fox Valley northwestern suburbs. And then we're quiet on Sunday with the exception of some lake effect snow. And then a couple more shots of some light snowfall as we go Monday morning and again Monday night. And after that, a couple of shots of light snowfall as we head Wednesday and into Thursday. So temperatures pretty flat here for the next, 48 hours or so. Not a whole lot of variance, just a couple of degrees one way or the other. And then as we head towards Sunday, we're back into a little bit of sunshine after that snow moves away. And then temperatures up into the 30s later in the week with a shot of some rain. I'll tell you more about that coming up.
Tina Wynn later in sports. Bears and Packers, the first of two matchups in a 3-week span with the top spot in the NFC North on the line. How the comments from a Packers star edge rusher is adding more fuel to the fire.
continue to drop, snow chances are increasing, and there's 100% chance that Sunday's Bears-Packers game will be a memorable one. We know the rivalry means so much to both franchises. Ben Johnson said he liked beating Matt LaFleur twice a year in his opening day press conference. Tina Nguyen has more on the reaction from the Packers side and the latest on the Bears injury front.
Respect is something that's earned, and these people want to come here and they want to meet us in our house, and, you know, we got to eventually go there. That's, you know, if someone comes along, what would you say?
Those were the comments from Packers star edge rusher Micah Parsons yesterday, adding more fuel to the Bears and Packers rivalry. With both teams battling for a top spot in the NFC North, the stakes are high, and for head coach Ben Johnson, the belief in this team didn't just happen overnight. It goes all the way back to a win in Las Vegas against the Raiders.
Said it, you know, behind closed doors, that win like that could have been the best thing for us, because I think you really felt the belief starting to build then. Just that we're close in a game at the end, and we found a way to win.
And with the 6-1 record in one-score games, that belief has turned into results. The Bears have jumped into the NFC's elite. 26 takeaways, a 6th-ranked scoring offense, a top-tier rushing attack, and an offensive line playing as one of the best in the NFL.
Them gelling together and trusting each other. The combinations on all of our run game is really sound. I think they do a good job communicating in pass pro as well as we're passing off stunts and whatnot. And so I think it starts there. But yeah, I think all three of those guys are playing at a really high level.
And while the offense continues to roll, the defense is set to get a boost, with linebackers Noah Sewell and TJ Edwards expected to return.
I think if it was just a hand, I would have came back the next week, but kind of dealing with that hamstring still, and it's finally starting to feel really good. I've been kind of living through the guys in here and just trying to stay in everyone's ear, trying to tell them what I see, asking for questions, and staying into the game plans and things like that. So because I knew when I came back, I want to be ready to go. So I feel like I'm in a good spot.
In other injury news, Ruben Hippolyte, Tyreek Stevenson, and Rome Odunze have all been ruled out on Sunday against the Packers. Odunze, dealing with a foot injury, will miss the first game of his NFL career. Expect some increased targets for Olamide Zaccheaus and rookie Luther Burden. Reporting from Hallis Hall, I'm Tina Nguyen, Fox 32 Sports.
Thanks, Tina, and wake up to Bears Game Day Live Sunday morning from 9:30 to 11 a.m. with Lou Anthony and I. We will be live at Lambeau Field and go one-on-one with Jalen Johnson, talking about his return from core muscle surgery, and hear from DJ Moore on what it means to be the Bears nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Then after the game, head over to our digital and social platforms for After the Whistle with Tina Nguyen, Pat the Designer, and Jim Miller as they break down the game from every angle. Well, we are 6 months away from the 2026 World Cup on Fox, and we now know who the U.S. men's national team will face in the group stage. The Americans are in a group with Paraguay, Australia, and the winner of a European playoff, which will take place in March. They'll face Paraguay first on June 12th right here on Fox 32 Chicago. In college football news, Penn State is reportedly close to hiring Iowa State's Matt Campbell as their next head coach. Back to you.
All right, Cassie, thank you. NBA Bulls hosting the Pacers. Some Bears players taking in the game at the United Center. Third quarter, Bulls down 16. Kobe White misses the layup. Back the other way, Jay Huff gets the reverse jam in transition. The game just went final. Bulls lose 120-105. They've dropped a season high 6 straight games. All right, nothing high about the forecast. Let's check in one more time with Mark before we go.
Yeah, temperatures in the 20s pretty much for the next 48 hours or so, and really all the way into Monday. We warm up, if you will, up into the upper 30s by midweek, and there's a chance of some rain and snow mixed together there as we head, as we head into Wednesday. Other than that, it is all chilly the whole week long. We should be around 40. That's our average.
All chilly. Stay cuddled up, and if you have no one to cuddle with, just get a nice blanket. Thanks for watching Fox 32 News at 9 right here on Fox Local. Remember, always wake up with Good Day Chicago. Have a good weekend, everyone. Be safe, be kind, and be well. We'll see you next week.